Good morning and hello. Thank you for tuning in. You are tuned into The Encourager. And my name is Nehru. And thank you so much for tuning in, subscribers and returning listeners, new listeners. We're going to go ahead and get started with our angel numbers today. And so let's go ahead and do that. Hope again your day is off to a good start. We are on 313, I believe, right? Today is 313. All right. So let's go ahead and get going. Also, something I recognized after I posted the angel number readings, something that I noticed or realized yesterday also was that yesterday was 3/12/24. So 3 and 12 is a 4, right? You can also see that as a 15. But also with 24, 3 and 12 is 4. And then 4 and 24 is 6, right? So, yeah. So let's go ahead and get started with our angel numbers. And also, obviously, the 12 and 24, right? So 12 times 2, or 12 times 2. But that's more pertinent, or I guess that equation makes more sense in February, right? So you have 2, 12, 24. So anyway, let's go ahead and get going. Or it probably rings true, not makes more sense. So let's get started with our first angel number. Let's start towards the back of the book today. Okay. Oh, by the way, I don't think I showed this the last couple of days. Maybe, I don't think I did yesterday. All right. So, but this is the reference. I always like to give Mystic Michelle credit. Okay. So let's go ahead and get started. Yeah, let's start at the back of the book today. Let's see what Most High wants to say to us today. So let's go right page, upper left. Career growth 9/13, and today is the 13th. Okay. And also it's the third month, right? 333 is a 9. It can also be seen as a 12, depending on how you see it. Right? So career growth, invest in yourself. New career opportunities are coming through, but you'll have to invest in your professional growth to take the next step. What is a skill you've been putting off mastering? Today, take a step to get it done. Okay? And so, I ask myself this question sometimes when if I'm listening to a tarot reading. And by the way, I definitely warn you with listening to those, because you can, because there are karmic tarot readers, just like there are karmic business owners, karmic politicians, karmic lovers, karmic spouses, karmic parents, karmic siblings, karmic sons and daughters, karmic grandparents, karmic employees, karmic employers. Like, karmic energy knows no bounds, right? I could be karmic if I chose to be. Okay. So, what I was going to mention, or what I meant to say was, I mentioned yesterday that I am in the process of 404 when I looked over at the timer. I am in the process of completing my Reiki Master certification. So I am currently in the process of that, and I'm 80 something percent through the mastery class, or through the classes. Okay. And so that is something that I knew from the beginning that I've always wanted to be into it. I've always been into natural healing. When I left the hospital with the kidney transplant on 7/7/17, I had 17 pills and an oral gargle to prevent bacterial infections. And I I don't recommend this. I'm not a doctor. I'm an unlicensed nephrologist, only because I was on dialysis for 4.5 years with a rare autoimmune virus that man had no cure for. So I did a lot of research in regards to the kidneys. So that's why I say I'm an unlicensed nephrologist. It's a joke. Okay? I could provide guidance and advice on how I took care of my kidneys and how did I prepare myself for dialysis or for transplant, how I took care of myself on dialysis, how disciplined I was. That's key. All right. If any of you are wanting to know any of that information or you have kidney concerns yourself, feel free to reach out to me. My email address is theencourager333@gmail.com. I will not share your information on here, and certainly not your name. If Most High performs something miraculous or reveals something to you, or through our conversations, I might share that as an example, but I would not use your name. Okay, so I have some level of knowledge in regards to renal care, kidney care, blah blah blah, right? And how to best take care of your kidneys. Okay, even today, I buy pure cranberry juice, and in fact, let me grab it for you. Let me show you what it is. And I drink this thing in probably a day and a half, typically. Okay, and so there's the jar, right? And I get this, and I get it regularly, right? Most would probably say it's not cheap. It runs about $9 a bottle. But my health is far more important than $9 a bottle. And if it's on sale, which this one was, it was $5.99 actually. So I do things like that, on a regular basis to take care of to keep my kidney function up. And no doubt that's helped. Okay. So, yes, select the certification class course. You don't have to pay thousands of dollars for it. You can go to Coursera. You can go to Udemy, which is spelled Udemy, or Coursera, okay, or Coursera. I think it's pronounced Coursera, okay. And there are plenty of inexpensive courses offered by legitimate universities: University of Illinois, University of Alabama. There's all sorts of universities all over the world that are on these platforms and offering these courses at a steep discount compared to what you would normally pay for if you were to enroll in there in a degree program, be on campus, or traditionally. Okay, so again, I encourage you to do that because I'm doing that in order to, again, further enhance the gifts, abilities, and things that Most High has given me. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. That was really, really long talking. Let's go ahead and get started. Let's move to the center of the book, and let's go left page, lower right. Let's do left page, lower left. I don't think we rarely do that. Left page, lower left. Memories. The past stirs up the present. Your angels acknowledge that a lesson from the past is making its way into your present moment. The emotions it creates in you needs to be addressed. Reflect and journal on what present circumstances are mirroring past ones and how the lessons of them can assist you with now. I was looking to see that. That looks like, I was trying to see if that looks like an N, right? That looks lessons of then. Oh, I guess that is lessons of then can assist you with now. Okay. And no matter what it is, it could be a job, a relationship. They all have lessons. Okay. Take a deep sigh. Take a deep breath. Okay. Let it out. Exhale. Right. So, with these lessons, like I said, you can't take new wine and put it in old vats. So with that, You're going to have to dig in. You're going to have to do the hard work. You're going to have to pull yourself up out of the mud. You're going to have to do that, right? And you do that, and one way to do that is by not forgetting the lessons that the last experience taught you, okay? Because if you forgot the lessons from one grade to the next after summertime, when you came back to school, right, you'd have a tough time getting going, right? And many do, right, after summer break. And even though summer breaks today are shorter than what they were, certainly for my generation when we were in school, we didn't go back to school, I think, until the week after Labor Day, right? Now they go back to school in August, right? So they have a lot less time off during that break, right? But there are a lot more distractions today that we did not have when I was growing up. Right? And so, pay attention to the lessons. And when a new opportunity presents itself, remember the lessons that you learned from the past one. So, if you learned from your last interview that it's not good to bring up salary, which, by the way, as the interviewer, it's okay. If you are the interviewee, it's not. Do not bring up salary. I learned that when I was a headhunter. I was a recruiter. The candidate should never bring up salary. That is something that the employer should bring up. So you go to an interview, you find out that's a no. I did that, and I could tell that the environment or the atmosphere or the energy changed when that subject was brought up. Then you know not to bring that up the next interview you go to, right? So take the lessons that you learned this time, carry it into the future. Better protect yourself spiritually if you're dealing with energetic situations, right? Change that. If you're dealing with 3D situations like that job interview, pay attention to what you're saying, okay? And right. So, let's go ahead and get to our last angel number. Let's move towards the front of the book. Okay. So let's see. Let's go with right page, lower right. Life plan 27. I like the number. I like all numbers. Align your life plan with your soul plan. That's a good thing, right? That's a good equation. Your angels want you to reflect and consider deeply what it is you want in life versus what you think you should do. Create alone time for yourself today without people or technology. Ask yourself what you want and free write it in a journal without judgment. Okay. And so I can tell you today that even though I still have a couple of tax clients, we are this week corporate tax returns are due. So partnerships, S corporations, LLCs that are taxed as S corporations, and so with this tax season coming to a close here in the next month, right? I've only done a few tax returns, and that's exactly the way that I want it. Why? Because that was a past career. I let them slowly, I say slowly, but you do something for 13 years and word gets around, so yeah. And at some point, I'll be sending out an email for no more referrals, and I'll be sending out those emails to the few clients that I do have. And so, releasing that career, right? And again, the courses and everything that I've signed up for, they're all gearing me for what I'm doing ahead. I'm not taking another bookkeeping course. Why? Because that's not the direction that I'm going. I remember the sign that me and a realtor saw back in Daytona when I was looking at homes. I was looking at houses to purchase, and and so we saw this posted on a door, okay, and and it was in an older house, and it was a new Post-it or a fresh Post-it, I guess, and it was written in ink, blue ink, on this Post-it, and it was either a trash chute or a I want to say concierge, but that's not the right word. What's the mechanism that lowers your plates down? Like old school houses had them, right? You could lower your plate down or pull your plate up to your room. Butler something maybe? Not pantry, obviously, but I don't know what that's called. Anyway, it was on one of those doors, right? And it said, don't turn around, you're not going that way. That's all it said. And it was a Post-it in this completely empty house. Confirmation with the phone ring. I'm going to read these numbers out to you for this phone number. This phone number is 772-777-7126. Okay? That's what that phone number is there. And you know something? That's almost all sevens. If you put those numbers together correctly, that's almost all sevens across the board. Okay? So very, very, very interesting there. So, thank you so much for tuning in. As always, my name is Nehru. This is The Encourager. And remember, life is happening for us, not to us, if we allow it and we remove our emotions from it. Okay, so practice that maybe today. Let's practice removing our emotions from it, okay, to catch a better picture, a better sound picture, a better logical picture, and remember the lessons that the past has taught us. Otherwise, yes, we are doomed to repeat them exactly 17 minutes on the timer, okay? Thank you so much again, and as always, be encouraged.